Israel Folau is a gifted elite athlete playing across several sporting codes. He started in the NRL, playing for Australia and the Queensland Maroons in rugby league, then playing for the Greater Western Sydney Giants in the AFL. After that, he moved to rugby union, playing for the Waratahs and the Wallabies. While he is no doubt a star player, he would have his share of trouble that mainly came from social media posts on his religious beliefs, causing him to have his contract terminated from Rugby Australia, and he would be involved in further legal battles. This is the story of Israel Folau. Israel Folau was born on the 3rd of April 1989 in Minto, New South Wales. He went to Lorena Public School and Westfield Sports High School. In 2004, his family moved to Brisbane, and Folau would then attend Marsden State High School and would be selected to play for the Queensland Schoolboys team. Folau would be spotted by the Melbourne Storm and would play for their feeder club. He won a premiership with them and played in the Queensland under-19s, being the first person ever to play for them while still only 16 years old. With him having so much talent from a young age, in 2007, he made his NRL debut for the Melbourne Storm at the age of 17. He played in the first round of the season on the wing, scoring a try in the game, and went on to have a fantastic debut year. He played the majority of the season on the wing, and swapped to play in the centres towards the end of the season. He was a part of the squad that won the grand final, beating Manly 34-8. He finished the season playing 27 games, scoring 22 tries and kicking 5 goals. He earned the Dally M Rookie of the Year award and became the youngest player to ever represent Australia at just 18 years old. He scored 2 tries in Australia's 58-0 win. After Izzy's standout debut season, in 2008, he cemented himself in the centre position. After beginning the season strong, he was picked to play for Australia and make his debut in the Origin Arena, playing in all 3 games of the series for Queensland, scoring a try in his debut game. He continuously played all the way to the grand final, with the Storm losing the game to Manly 0-40. He played in 25 games this season, scoring 15 tries. After the regular season, he was picked to play for Australia again in the World Cup. He earned the Rugby League International Federation Rookie of the Year award and the Dally M Centre of the Year award. 2009 would start with a move for Izzy, signing to the Brisbane Broncos. He started for them in round 1 and scored a try in the opening game. While he did start in the centre position, he was moved to the wing and would swap between both positions throughout the entire season. He played for Australia and Queensland again, this time in only 2 of the Origin games, and played in the final series for the Broncos. He played 19 games this season, scoring 17 tries. He started 2010 playing in the NRL All-Stars and played in all 3 State of Origin games. He would play in 20 games this season, scoring 20 tries. These first few years were outstanding for Izzy, and in the middle of the year, there was a bidding war for him between 3 different codes: Rugby League, Rugby Union, and the AFL. Then, Izzy would announce that he would be swapping codes, signing with the Greater Western Sydney Giants, which was estimated to be worth up to $6 million over 4 years. In 2011, he played for the Giants in the North East Australian Football League, which is a Tier 2 competition under the AFL, and spent the year developing his Aussie rule skills. Then, in 2012, he would make his AFL debut in round 1, but didn't have the impact everyone was hoping for, only playing 13 games this season. At the end of the year, he would end his AFL career, and people weren't sure on what his next options were. Then, in December of 2012, he announced he would be changing sports again and joined the rugby union team, the New South Wales Waratahs. People would compare him to Sonny Bill Williams as the next crossover sporting star. He had a great debut season, playing in 14 games and scored 8 tries, and would make his international debut in 2013 for Australia and scored a try in his debut game. In 2014, he played in 14 games again, this time scoring 12 tries, and the Waratahs won the grand final, giving him a win in the NRL and the Super Rugby competition. He would play for the Waratahs over the next several years until 2019, playing a total of 96 games and scoring 60 tries. During this time, he also played for the Wallabies, representing Australia in 73 games, scoring 37 tries. He would also earn the Wallabies Player of the Year 3 times, in 2014, 2015, and 2017. Izzy would end up facing some trouble in 2018, mainly due to social media posts involving his religious beliefs. There was an Instagram user that asked Folau, "What's God's plans for homosexuals?" And Folau replied with, "Hell, unless they repent their sins and turn to God." Later on, he would also write, "My response to the question is what I believe God's plan is for all sinners, according to my understanding of my Bible teachings." There were accusations of homophobia against Izzy, and again, he would make another post saying, "Since my social media posts were publicised, it has been suggested that I am homophobic and bigoted, and that I have a problem with gay people. This could not be further from the truth. I fronted the cover of the Star Observer magazine to show my support for the Bingham Cup, which is an international gay rugby competition for both men and women. I believe in inclusion. In my heart, I know I do not have any phobia towards anyone." Izzy would go on and continue to post Bible verses on social media, and in 2019, he would be involved in legal proceedings. It was stated that Folau had breached the rugby's code of conduct, and in May of 2019, he would lose his sponsorship deal with ASICS, and his Rugby Australia contract was terminated, ending his career with the Waratahs and the Wallabies. In June of 2019, he would launch his own legal proceedings with the Fair Work Commission towards the Waratahs and Rugby Australia, claiming it to be unlawful to terminate employment on the basis of religion. Folau would also launch a GoFundMe that raised $3 million for legal costs. He would receive backlash for this, as he already had a multi-million-dollar fortune. GoFundMe would shut down the fundraiser, stating that it promoted discrimination or exclusion, and all donations were refunded. Then, the Australian Christian Lobby announced they will donate $100,000 to Folau and set up another donation site, which raised $2 million in 2 days. The donations were then paused by the Australian Christian Lobby and Folau. Originally, he launched legal action against New South Wales Rugby for unlawful termination on the basis of religion, and he was after an apology, compensation, and the right to play rugby union in Australia again. Later in the proceeding, he would increase his compensation claim against Rugby Australia to $14 million, under the basis that he could have been the Wallabies captain. The case would reach a confidential settlement, and both Folau and Rugby Australia gave an apology, stating no harm was intended for either party. After his termination, in 2020, he signed a 1-year deal with the Catalans Dragons, playing rugby league again in the Super League. He would play back in the centre position and scored 5 tries in the 15 games he played. And after his 1-year stint playing back in rugby league, in 2021, it was announced he would be moving back to rugby union, playing for the Japanese club, the Shining Arcs. He played 14 games for them, scoring 3 tries. He would then move clubs to play for the Urayasu D-Rocks, still in Japanese rugby, and is currently still playing there to this day. He has recently been on a few podcasts and even started his own with his wife. He was saying on the YKTR podcast and said that the media took his words out of proportion and twisted them in their own way, which would lead to his eventual banning from rugby. It happened during a time where the woke culture was very strong, and they mentioned if something like this happened today, that they wouldn't get banned. Another point that was brought up is that how can men who have beaten women and done other criminal activities be allowed to play, but Izzy gets banned for sharing his religious beliefs on social media? While people are divided on their thoughts and opinions on Izzy, there is no doubt he's a talented athlete at the highest caliber.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed, be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. I post videos like this twice a week, and if you want to watch another one, click the video on screen.